ITV Evening News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. The family of Virginia Giuffre told ITV News today that stripping titles including Prince and Duke of York from the now Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is a victory for an ordinary American girl. In a memoir published after her death, Virginia repeated allegations that she had sex with Andrew on 3 separate occasions, something he has always denied. It added to the mounting pressure, which last night saw the King remove all of Andrew's royal titles and force him out of his home of 20 years, Royal Lodge in Windsor. The disgraced former prince will instead live on the private Sandringham estate in Norfolk. He's not moved out of Windsor yet, but his name has already been struck from the official roll of the peerage. And ministers say Andrew should answer questions in the United States over his relationship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, if asked. Here's our royal editor, Chris Shipp. Well, the humiliation for Andrew could scarcely be more public or more painful. Once he was the apple of his mother's eye, second in line to the throne and a hero of the Falklands War. But after a series of controversies and serious allegations, he has effectively been banished. Here's our correspondent Neil Connery on Andrew's downfall. Well, as you'd expect, Mr Mountbatten Windsor dominates the conversation on this week's Talking Royal show. You can join Chris and the team from 12:30 on Sunday afternoon on ITV1, ITVX and STV. You can also watch on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Well, there is more ahead on the ITV Evening News. That and more after the break. Hello and welcome back. At least 19 people are now known to have been killed in Jamaica as Hurricane Melissa caused widespread destruction. A child is thought to be among the victims. Some communities remain cut off days after the storm struck, and authorities struggle to get help to some of the hardest hit areas. ITV News has travelled to the resort of Black River on the island's southwest coast, which the government called the storm's ground zero. The hurricane-force winds stripped the roofs of nearly all of the town's buildings and wrecked businesses. Now, as our correspondent Robert Moore discovered, people have been left with nothing and many are now desperate for aid. Well, here, a former prisoner who was set free under the government's controversial early release scheme has been charged with murder. Our political correspondent Shihab Khan is at the Ministry of Justice. Shihab, this is highly embarrassing for the government. What more do we know? All right, Shihab at the Ministry of Justice, thank you. Some other news now on a double murderer who stabbed his pregnant girlfriend to death after being released from prison has been jailed for at least 42 years. Next tonight, Queen drummer Roger Taylor has told ITV News about the enduring appeal of Bohemian Rhapsody on the 50th anniversary of its release. The track helped catapult the group to international stardom and was once the UK's biggest selling single. It was groundbreaking in other ways too. It was accompanied by a pioneering video and it broke the mould for pop singles by running for almost 6 minutes. Our arts editor Nina Nanar went back to the recording studio in Wales where it all began. You can get more of Nina's report and, of course, all today's top stories on our website, itv.com/news. Now, it's just coming up to 7 o'clock. Emma Dell is here in half an hour. Here's what's still ahead. All right, let's get an update on what is making the news. Next, the mother of a teenage soldier who took her own life after being sexually assaulted told ITV News that young women shouldn't join the army. Today, the man responsible for assaulting Jaisley Beck, former Sergeant Major Michael Webber, was sentenced to 6 months in prison at a court-martial after admitting sexual assault. Her mum told us nothing has changed in the 4 years since her daughter's death. Carrie Davis reports from Bulford Military Court Centre. And finally, if you are braving it and taking part in a bit of trick-or-treating tonight, are you bringing your dog along in costume too? Well, there's been a boom in the number of owners dressing their pets up for Halloween. Not all animal lovers agree with the growing trend. But as Rosie Dowsing found out, those who do approve say their dogs thrive on the added attention. Oh, a bit of fun, but always let the dog decide. And that is all from us for now. Julie is here with the latest at 10. But from me and all the evening news team, bye-bye. Have a great weekend.